Lunar Lander by Pulsar Modular. This is an analog delay, plate reverb, and saturation module all in one. So I'm really excited about this one because the plugin does sound great. I tested it out and I love it. So let's have a quick look at the website and see what's going on there. And then we'll jump over to my Cubase session and play with the plugin, and I'll show you what's going on and what all the knobs and options do. So let's get started. In the website, as you can see, you can download a free trial. This is fully functional for 20 days, so check it out. I mean, what's stopping you? Just download and try it out. And as you can see, this is a combo of 3 different modules. You have the delay, you have the reverb, and you have the analog kind of saturation module. And as they say here, you have organic feel and behavior, precise modeling of BBD analog delay. Again, this is a kind of an old way to create delays with capacitors. Of course, this is just an emulation. And they have plate reverb, just emulating the lexicon plate reverbs in 3 different sizes, and I'll show you that. And so I think let's just jump over to my Cubase session and play around with this plugin, and I'll explain everything you need to know. So I've loaded both OBXAV, that's an Oberheim synthesizer emulation, and also Prophet V emulation to test out Lunar Lander. And as they say, it really shines on synths, and it is made to take your synth sound and put it in the mix. So let's try it out and let's see what this plugin can do. So I'm going to bypass the plugin and play a dry set of tunes. Okay, just very dry. And now let's engage the plugin. And we can have more reverb. This is the plate size. And let's have this. And we can also go to the extreme. And just for fun, let's reverse the order. Let's have reverb first. Okay, pretty cool. So let's try this plugin on the Prophet. I'm going to close this one and this one. Let's have Prophet, and I've created a very simple patch here. I'm going to resize the window, and let's put this one here, and the Lunar Lander. This is without. Okay, and with. And again, we can change the order of the plate reverb and the analog delay. This is with and without. Let's go over all the different options we have here and get to know this plugin even better. The analog delay is an emulation of the bucket bridge delay. So again, this is an old way to create delays with capacitors. Of course, this is software. We don't have real capacitors, but the idea is the same. And so that's the delay. And what we have here is the clock rate, which you can just set manually, or you can tap this light here. And you need at least 2 taps in order to create your BPM. And then we also have regen. So regen is sort of a feedback. So let's hear how that sounds and what kind of sound we get in different regions. And so notice that if we set it to somewhere more than 8, you'll get a kind of a feedback loop, and you'll get into sort of a saturation kind of situation here, which is really musical and really sounding good to me. So, I mean, you need to watch out, but you can also use it creatively. So let's try it again. Pretty cool. And as you can see, when we're changing the clock rate, we'll get that effect of sort of a tape delay, but it's really fun. So if you're going to automate this during your track, this is going to be also very creative. The analog delay also includes modulation, and this modulation is a sort of a built-in LFO that modulates the delay line, and it allows you to just create kind of a chorus effect. So try it out, and again, you have the LFO itself, the modulation depth, how much of that effect you want, and then you have the rate. So let's try it out. We'll go to the extreme. Pretty cool. And of course, we have the BBD. The BBD controls the distortion and noise part of the emulation. So the more you set this, the more kind of distortion or a kind of grinding sound you'll get. Let's set everything to something more reasonable so we can appreciate this effect. This is without and with. Definitely adds a lot of character to the sound. Of course, we also have wet and dry mix. The plate reverb includes decay, plate size, bandwidth, and of course, wet and dry mix control. Let's go over these controls. So we have decay that goes from very short, that's 0, and to long, that's 1 second. So let's hear how that sounds, and including also, let's try the first plate size. This is an emulation of Lexicon plate reverbs, or I would say following the sound of Lexicon. So let's try it. And what I'll do is I'll get the delay out of the way. And let's have more of the reverb. And longer decay. That was too much, but it sounds great. And let's try different plate sizes. Just wonderful. And we also have bandwidth. Well, this is a combination of low pass and high pass, so it's a kind of a band pass, and it moves across the frequency spectrum and just focuses on different areas where you want your synth or your sound to have that focus of the reverb. And next, we also have our saturation module where you can just select between class A, B, and class A. And you also have input gain, which you can crank up. Of course, what I suggest is just combine the settings between the output and the input and create that kind of saturated sound. And again, let's try without. And with. And let's have some delay. And switch the order of the plugin modules. So now we have first the plate reverb and then the analog delay. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll just select few presets from my synthesizers and just play around with this plugin, and let's hear how it sounds. So let's move to our Oberheim here. This is the Oberheim, and we have the Lunar Lander. This is without and with. And without. Now, as you can see, this patch already using reverb. So let's get that out of the way. We'll remove the delay and reverb. Let's hear without. Well, it has a long release, but doesn't matter. Let's try with. And we'll try something else. Okay, so let's again remove the reverb and delay. This is without and with. Lunar Lander by Pulsar Modular. That was really fun. I think I really love this plugin. So I'm going to play with it some more later on. And what I suggest, again, just try it out. Download the trial for 20 days. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And if you have any questions or anything at all, please leave a comment below this video and I'll be quick to answer. And of course, if you're not subscribed to my channel and you're here by chance, then I would like to ask you to subscribe and check out my channel, because I have lots of tutorials and I'm adding new tutorials pretty much all the time. And so that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next videos.